We're joined today by Graeme Sloan, Managing Director of Carly Metals. Graeme, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, a pleasure to be here.
Recently completed a very successful IPO onto the ASX by bringing together the assets of two companies. What was the genesis of the IPO and the investment proposition you brought to market?
Well, Carly Metals was formed by the amalgamation or the merger of the lithium assets from Kalamazoo Resources, which is an ASX listed company, and TSX listed Karora Resources. The two of those came together and formed three major project areas, one in the Higginsville, one in the Pilbara and one over in the east coast called the Lachlan Fold Belt. That process took some 12 months from start to finish. We started the process early in January 23 and we listed on the Australian Stock Exchange in January the 5th of this year. Highly successful IPO, oversubscribed. We raised a maximum subscription of $15 million it's a hugely successful IPO.
And hit the ground running. Importantly, started with news flow.
Oh, absolutely. We sort of had the teams in the field very early on the piece prior to listing. They came back with some good numbers from rock chip samples and certainly some of the mapping. Lots of outcropping pegmatites in and around Higginsville and up on our Marble Bar prospect. And also on our East Coast prospect, I should say as well. So they came through with some good numbers, early numbers. But more recently, we've released the latest soils and rock chip samples. And they have shown some fantastic targets for us. One anomaly is over 2 kilometres in length, rock chip samples up to 5% lithium oxide, and another one 900 metres in length. So these are early stage. It provides us the opportunity to now follow up with further soils and rock chip samples. These are certainly starting to show real promise, especially around the Higginsville area. And those, as I said, when you see those numbers, you've got to get excited. They're hugely exciting.
Why are these areas so important?
It's interesting. The Higginsville, two of our three main project areas, the Higginsville, Pilbara area, they're probably in what is the two hottest lithium provinces in Australia. And we have large parcels of ground in both of those. Higginsville, we're completely surrounded by existing mining operations and advanced lithium projects, or exploration prospects if you like, and some of these are sort of world-class lithium mines, hard rock lithium mines. So we're definitely in the right area in Higginsville, and as I said, the latest results that came through clearly show that we are with those big numbers around, as I said, around that 5% rock chip samples and the big soil anomalies.
Being surrounded by big players generates a lot of interest. Are you seeing a lot of interest in what you're doing from your neighbours?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, we all keep a bit of an eye on each other to make sure that they sort of, to see what's going on. And without a doubt, we have our neighbours includes one sort of very large company I think we're all aware of. They have a number of processing plants or joint ventures with one, own the other one 100% outright. So obviously they're looking at it as a key and spoke sort of set up for their milling operations, and who knows in the future where things will go. But for the time being, we're very focused on what we need to deliver, and our role is to make sure we deliver to our shareholders, and we do that through delivering those results that we just released.
Talking about delivery, talking about results, what's the plan from here? What should investors be focusing on?
Yeah, David, look, at this point in time, I think we need to get drills into the ground. We need to build a resource. So we're planning to have our drill into Higginsville in probably the first half of this year, hopefully sooner rather than later. That will then be the real proof. We can show all the anomalies and the rock chip samples we like. We need to know how big these things are, and we've got sort of, we think potentially they could be quite big. But drilling was the only way we're going to find out. And as I said, we'll get the drills into Higginsville. We'll continue soil sampling in and around all the 8 projects at Higginsville. We've just completed a soil geochem drilling program up in the Pilbara. The results of those are pending. When they come through, it'll then be able to dictate which way we go with our exploration plan up there. on our Lachlan Fold Belt. We'll continue to do some further field work. We've had soils programs sort of planned for coming up. If it hasn't started, it certainly will be very shortly. And then we'll see where that one goes. So plenty of work, plenty of activity and plenty of announcements coming up.
An exciting IPO, hit the ground running, clearly a big program ahead. A company to watch, Carly Metals. Graeme, we do look forward to watching with interest. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dave. As I said, a real pleasure to be here.